All I know is there's nothing you can say to me that will put a damper on anything because Jason Garrett's gone and there is a God and there's justice, Ben. There's justice.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at things in justice, you still scored more points than I did the last 2 weeks.
Combined. What is going on, guys? Happy Thanksgiving. It is week 12 of the NFL season, and we are back again with Nick's Picks, and I am joined, as always, by Ben. It is Thanksgiving Day. Well, not when we're recording this, but when you guys watch this, it is Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It is week 12, and I could not be any happier because Jason Garrett was fired as of recording this today, and it was you know what? Giants can lose every game the rest of the season. I don't care. Jason Garrett's gone. But Ben, how are you feeling going into week 12? We know how I'm feeling.
Look, man, all right. You know your team's bad when they're only favored by 1 point over Jacksonville.
It was even last I saw. But like I said, guys, it is week 12 of the NFL season. Last week, it was 113 to 111. And I scored 14. Ben scored 11. I got all my main picks correct. Ben did not. He only got 2 of his main picks correct.
I only got 2.
So 127 to 122, you said?
Mm-hmm.
127, 122 is the current score of Nick's Picks going into week 12. And like I said, guys, the bet is a secret, and there are a lot more points to be scored. We still have the rest of the regular season, the postseason picks, and our preseason picks of who we had as division winners. Those will count as points later on, too. We move on to the game of the week of week 12. And for me, the game of the week happens in the AFC North. Is the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Cleveland Browns. And there's a few reasons I want to talk about this game. Number one, it is a very exciting game. These are 2 of the top teams in the AFC North ever since Cincinnati has kind of fallen off a little bit. So the Baltimore Ravens go up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns had a tough time against Detroit last week. Don't know what it is.
That happened, but all right.
Don't know what it is with AFC North teams having a tough time against Detroit, but so far 3 of the 4 have. And the Baltimore Ravens pissed me off because I had Lamar Jackson for my 2-point conversion last week, and literally an hour before kickoffs, Lamar Jackson is sidelined with a non-COVID related illness. So it could have been like stomach bug or something like that. I don't know. But screwed me out of 2 points. Didn't matter. I ended up doing pretty well last week. But the Baltimore Ravens go up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, I'm going to have to figure that Lamar Jackson, if it's not COVID, he's probably not going to miss more than 1 week for this. So I would assume him to be back against the Cleveland Browns here. The Cleveland Browns, on the other hand, they have been healthy. They haven't, ever since trading Odell. Sure, they haven't lost any, but they haven't looked pretty either. So I do have the Baltimore Ravens winning this one 28-17 over the Cleveland Browns because I do think the Baltimore Ravens own this division. First of all, the fact that they managed to win last week with Huntley at quarterback and going up against that Chicago Bears defense, which I even said was a very good defense, which is why it was a 2-point conversion for Lamar to do so well. But for the Baltimore Ravens to win that game last week, they are clearly in control of this AFC North. So I think a win here against the Cleveland Browns really solidifies that, and I think it puts it out of reach for anybody else.
All right, and my game of the week is 2 teams actually struggling, and that is the Los Angeles Rams going to Green Bay to take on the Packers. The Rams are suffering a 2-game losing streak. They were on a bye last week, but they lost to the Titans and the Niners. And really outside of the Titans, yeah, they didn't have Derrick Henry. They should have beat the Niners. And the Packers now coming off a tough loss against the Vikings. I was watching that game, and I was like, damn, they couldn't stop that. I don't know what it was. They just couldn't stop Minnesota for whatever reason. And I will go more in what I think could happen in this game in my 2-point, but I do think the Rams can bounce back. I think they can get Odell more integrated into the system a lot better. Especially coming after a bye week. So I have the Rams winning this one 30-28 over Green Bay. And realistically, outside of their offense, I think the slightest edge is also to the Rams defense. Because I think they have one of the best, not the best defense in the league still. So I think that will give them the slightest edge over Green Bay, even
Now-
though it is in Green Bay, so it could be a close game still.
Now, if the Rams lose this game, how much do you start to blame Odell?
Honestly, I know I texted you this. If Odell does not shape up after this week, I don't think he has a contract in the free agency.
Well, I've already done one half of the AFC North, so I might as well do the other half of the AFC North for my upset pick. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Cincinnati Bengals this week. And now the Cincinnati Bengals, I called them my most underrated team in the midseason awards. And ever since then, they have proven to be the most overrated team in the first half of the season because they have not done anything in the second half of the season that makes me think, oh, the Cincinnati Bengals are for real. They can actually make a playoff run here. Or, at this point, I'm not even seeing the Cincinnati Bengals make the playoffs if they continue to play the way that they're playing. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, I know they lost against Detroit, and I had a very, very good or they didn't lose against Detroit, I'm sorry. They tied against
That
Detroit.
should be a loss, honestly.
That's an L in my book, and I had a very good laugh about that and made fun of the Pittsburgh Steelers a lot, but I think they could beat the Cincinnati Bengals team, and they're on the road. It's a tough task, but I really don't like the way that the Cincinnati Bengals have been playing the last couple weeks, and I gave them my most underrated team award, and God damn it, I want to take that back and give it to Indy because, whew. But
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but whew. I am going Pittsburgh Steelers 27-21 over the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 12 for my upset of the week.
All right, and my upset is going to be on Thanksgiving Day. No, it's not Detroit because, God damn it, I'm not going to pick anything with Detroit because either they lose or they tie. I can't go with them, and I don't want to talk about the Saints any more than I have to. So that leaves the Dallas Cowboys. After losing to the Chiefs, I got them losing to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Raiders have lost 3 straight. They've lost 3 straight. They're not. I know you're happy about that. I'd be happy about seeing that too, to be honest. There should be no reason I should pick the Raiders here. In all honesty, I think the Cowboys are by far the better team, but I do think it's the point of the season where the Cowboys they're on their high horse. We're gonna make the Super Bowl, and then they're gonna get these losses that they shouldn't lose to, like the Kansas City loss. I think that's a legit loss, but this is one where I do think the Raiders could beat them, and I have the Las Vegas Raiders winning this one 28-24 over Dallas and making my Thanksgiving a hell of a lot sweeter.
So for our picks of the week, the Giants finally meet up with the Eagles for the first time this season, and Atlanta looks to score more than 3 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I'm talking about the Giants and the Eagles, and like I said in the beginning of this video, I could not be more happy that Jason Garrett is gone. I am so happy, in fact, that I am picking the Giants to beat the Eagles 27-24 on Sunday. Now, that's not too crazy of a pick. The Eagles aren't that good of a team. But here's the wild thing. The Eagles are going to make the playoffs. And that's not even like a bold prediction or anything. The Eagles last however many games, this isn't in any order. Giants, Washington, Jets. The Eagles are going to fucking make the playoffs with their bullshit roster and get absolutely destroyed in the first round. So if the Giants can pull off at least one of these 2 wins against the Philadelphia Eagles, this one being at home, I do feel like that could maybe keep the Eagles out of the playoffs, which is the right thing because I'm sorry, Eagles fans, your team sucks. They don't belong in the playoffs. You won some questionable games against some questionable teams. Congratulations. But I'm going Giants 27-24 over the Eagles. I think the motivation of no more clapping on the sideline out of Jason Garrett is going to propel this team to a victory. And I know Freddie Kitchens is now calling the offensive plays. I hope he's not there next year either. I really don't like him all that much either. But it can't be worse. He cannot be worse than Jason Garrett. I don't think a potato could be worse than Jason Garrett.
All right, well, you got rid of the clapper, and Atlanta... Anyways, this team gives me anxiety. Hopefully, Cordell Patterson is back because clearly he runs the offense because when he's in, they do solid, and when he's not in or not doing well, Atlanta does terrible. So hopefully he's back. I think he's still questionable. So hopefully they come back in this game. And this is probably going to be, outside of Detroit, this is probably the only chance I have of happiness of winning on Sunday. And I have Atlanta winning 27-21.
27 points? Wow. How the fuck is Atlanta going to manage that one? Woo, that's a tall task, Ben.
Fuck you. Fuck you. All right. Look, there's like, why is it even? I don't understand. I don't understand why it's
for those of you who don't follow Falcons football, which is all of you, I assume.
The smart people in the world, actually.
The Atlanta Falcons, if we haven't made this clear enough, in the last 2 games combined, have scored 3 points. The final picks of Nick's Picks Week 12 is the wild card picks, and I'm going with what I just said a little earlier was now my new most underrated team in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts, going up against the defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looked okay, I guess, against the Giants, snapping their 2-game losing streak, but it's the Giants. They still had Jason Garrett at that time. But Tampa Bay just hasn't quite looked themselves, and Tom Brady, he's getting good plays near the end of the game, but he's getting costly turnovers, and that is something that could really kill you against this Colts team. And Jonathan Taylor, who I'll get into in my 2-point conversion, but he is absolutely going off this season. With the absence of Derrick Henry this season, Jonathan Taylor, to me, is arguably the top running back in the NFL right now. I mean, you could argue Nick Chubb, you could argue, one or two others, but to me, Jonathan Taylor right now is the most explosive running back in the NFL, and I think the Indianapolis Colts have a very, very good shot at beating Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have them winning this one 28-27. They're at home. They have all the momentum on their side. I really do think that they can contend for this AFC South because the Tennessee Titans are kind of like a streak team. Like they're either really hot or they're really cold. So if they can catch Tennessee really cold and Indy stays as hot as they are, Indy can snag the South from the Tennessee Titans. So this would be a huge game for them. 28-27. I do have them beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'll be rooting for them. I kind of I like the story. I don't like Carson Wentz all that much, but I like the story, and I like the fact that they have a good team around them, and it's not like one player like Brady elevating them to a new level.
And my wild card is going to be the current, didn't think it would be at this point, but the current leader in the AFC East, and that is the New England Patriots, going up against those said Tennessee Titans. And I do think the Titans will continue to slip. I think they could still win, but I do have the Patriots winning this one 27-20. And the reason why I have them winning by a touchdown is mainly because they have the more consistent defense. Granted, Tennessee's defense has stepped up pretty as of late, and they've done better recently, kind of like Kansas City, where they kind of turned it around. They got their defense playing well. But New England's just been the more consistent team throughout the year. Mac Jones, as a rookie, he's in the perfect situation. Much as I hate to say it, but he is in the most perfect situation. All he's asked to do is just, hey, don't make any mistakes. Just get to the open receiver. If it's not there, check down or take a sack or run for a little bit. Like, just don't do too much. And that's all you need to do. And Belichick has proven that he can do that with Brady. And now he has just another Tom Brady, in my personal opinion, as far as, like, not saying he's going to be Tom Brady. I'm saying in the sense that it's a pocket passer and all you're asking to do is be a game manager. Don't get at me saying that Mac Jones is the next Tom Brady because he has to win 7 rings.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Ben is claiming...
I'm the Josh Allen hater, and Mac Jones is the reincarnated Tom Brady. That's how it goes here. But yeah, I got the Patriots winning this one 27-20 over Tennessee.
So those are our picks for Week 12, guys, or at least the main picks. Here are all the other picks that we didn't talk about. If there's a game in here that you want to see, go ahead and pause the video now, look at that game, and laugh about our pick. But these are our other picks of the week. RR. I said RR.
Pirate now?
We move on to the 2-point conversions, and like I said, my 2-point conversion would have to do with Jonathan Taylor. He had 5 rushing touchdowns against the Buffalo Bills last week, and let's be completely honest right now. The Buffalo Bills don't have a bad defense. The Buffalo Bills are struggling in a lot of ways, but they don't have a bad defense by any means. Jonathan Taylor just went off. I don't know if it's this Indianapolis scheme that's like really helping him out and elevating him to this next level, because he's not a rookie. This isn't his first year in the league. He's a very young player, but he's finally starting to get his rhythm and get his touches here with Indianapolis solely to himself, because he was splitting carries last year with Mac. I don't think that's happening too much anymore after this. But Jonathan Taylor, he's going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who actually have had a struggling defense all season so far. It's mostly been their secondary, but I do think that they have had some rushing defense issues throughout the season. So I'm going to have that Jonathan Taylor will have 100-plus yards rushing this week and at least 2 touchdowns against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I didn't say rushing touchdowns, by the way, because I'm holding out for... I know if I say rushing touchdowns, he'll get 1 receiving touchdown. So I'm saying 2 touchdowns and 100-plus rushing yards.
Watch you get like 98 and like 2 receiving.
Fuck you.
My 2-point goes back to my game of the week, and it is Matthew Stafford going up against Aaron Rodgers. We've heard it before when he was with the Lions, and this time, like I said, I think the Rams get back on track, and I'm calling it right now that Matthew Stafford will have more passing yards and more passing touchdowns than Aaron Rodgers this week. He's going to outduel him in this game in Green Bay, something he has done before. He can do it again, in my personal opinion. He's got a better team this time. He's not going to have to score like 40 points because his defense gives up 40 as well. He has a better defense, so I do think Matthew Stafford will bounce back in this week, and maybe he'll get some passes to Odell. Who knows? I don't personally care. As long as he gets the yards and he gets them somehow, some way, that's all I care about.
Well, unfortunately for you guys, you're not going to get a blooper reel this week because I'm not going to fuck up the outro 4 times like I did last week. But I hope you enjoyed Nick's Picks Week 12. If you did, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're somewhere around like 53, 54 subscribers right now. I would love to get that to 100 as quickly as possible. I'm not going to set like a deadline or anything like that because every time I do, I just disappoint myself. But let's get to 100, guys, as quickly as possible. Just hit the subscribe button. It doesn't really take much. But that is it for Nick's Pick Week 12. Like I said, the score is currently 127 to 122. I'm ahead of Ben, but lot still to happen. Ben, is there anything you want to say before we head out? And damn, I nailed that outro.
I'm proud of you. You nailed that outro. Hopefully Atlanta can score points. I'm not going to say touchdowns, just points. That's all I'm asking.
I'm about as pumped right now as Brady was after a 9-yard rush.
Hell yeah. I'm the most mobile quarterback
Let's fucking go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great one. Peace.